The last one here is the carbon dioxide extinguisher. With this one, you do need to be that much closer. We're talking about a metre and a half really. But if you think about this logically, in a lot of cases you're going to be dealing with electrical components, things like computers, monitors, things like that. What you need to do is get up close enough to be able to direct the plume of CO2 directly into the vents on the back of those appliances. The good thing is the fire is going to be relatively contained within that appliance, so less sort of chance of you coming in direct contact with the flames. So yeah, you can use that to get in there reasonably closely with relative safety. As you can see on here, we now have a different pin. We've got a plastic pin on this, whereas on here we have metal pins. There are all sorts of different operating devices. Some of them have pins that, or little sliders that go into the handles. Some have got plastic pins, some metal pins. You know, there's all different types. The only thing I will suggest is that you have a look around your premises, see which type you've got, familiarise yourself with it, so that if you do need to use them, then at least you've already had a go. The CO2 extinguisher, yeah, pull the pin. I'm operating this because when we operate these CO2 extinguishers, the CO2 comes out at -78 degrees. So things like the headstock, the hose and the horn will all start to freeze. So you don't want to be holding on to this. This will definitely take a layer of skin off your hand if you're holding onto this when it freezes. The other thing is the bottom of the cylinder will start to freeze as well. So that will, you don't need to be holding it like this either. So don't be holding on to these or the bottom. What we recommend is both hands underneath like that, thumbs over the top, and you operate it that way. The horn should be pointed at around about 45 degrees, but obviously if you're using it up in the air for a light fitting or something like that, then you can aim it up, but you just need to be that much more aware of that plume of CO2 near your face. Drawbacks with this one. One, it produces static electricity. Not a massive problem if you're wearing proper shoes, things like that, but ladies with sandals, men with flip-flop type things, you know, those type of open-sided shoes will or can affect you with static electricity. It's not going to cause you a big problem, it's just a tingling in your feet. The reason we mention that is obviously you're going to be using this on electricity. So if you suddenly feel your feet tingling, then you just need to know that it's the static and not the electricity being conducted back through the CO2 plume. So we've got the temperature, we've got the static electricity. The other thing is the sound of these things. Outside they're loud enough. They're really loud. You get them inside and they're going to sound 10 times louder. So just be aware that when you set one of these off, it is going to be loud. Don't want you sort of throwing it on the floor and thinking that there's something wrong with it. It's not. It's just the hose on the extinguisher causing that noise. Okay, next one, carbon dioxide extinguisher. Like I said, you really need to make sure you're holding this properly. Don't need to hold the horn, the hose, or the bottom of the cylinder. Pull in the pin, exactly the same. Hold on to the bottom of the handle, pull the pin out, and this time we do need to get a little bit closer. We're going to make sure we got the air or the wind blowing more or less to our back, so it's blowing the heat and smoke away from us. And then what we're going to do is get ourselves into a position, operate the extinguisher and bring it across the front part of the burn. It's as simple as that.